Hey there, fashion bosses. How are you doing today? Always a delight to be in your faces, imparting one or two knowledge, like I always say. So, my name remains Faith Abraham, Creative Director, Fashion Boss Innovations Academy. Here on this channel, we upload sewing tutorials and headwear tutorials. In today's class, we are going to be learning how to make this kimono jacket with Aso-Oke as the collar. Okay, and then it also has an Aso-Oke pocket. The color is Aso-Oke also. If this is what you like to learn, please stay to the end of the video and do not forget to subscribe, like, and then give a thumbs up. Okay, so we are here right now on the cutting table. I'm starting by rolling out my starting line, which of course is the first thing we do here on this channel. Like I will always say again, that starting line gives us accuracy, okay, because that's where all our measurements start from. So I'm imputing my neckline, of course, standard measurement 3 by 3, 3 inches width and 3 inches depth for the front panel, and then for the back panel 1 inch. We are cutting both the front and the back together. Please kindly take note. So I'm going ahead right now to curve my necklines, okay, both for the front and the back panel. The next thing for us to do now is to take our shoulder measurement, but the shoulder measurement extend to the length of the sleeve. It means from the middle part of your shoulder down to where your sleeve will get to. So it's a cut along sleeve. So I just measured and then I marked that. I came down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope, and then I'm measuring my armhole line right now, which of course is supposed to be 8 inches, but because it's a kimono, is a freewear, I made it 10 inches. Okay, seam allowances included, 10 inches. That's what I'm doing right now. Okay, so I'm measuring my bust point right now, 11.5 inches, and then I'm going to connect it with a straight line. Okay, after connecting my bust point line, I'm going to impute my bust circumference divided by 4 plus 3 inches seam allowance, okay, for ease and for sewing, okay. So I've done that. I'm going right away, right at this moment, to take my hip line measurement, okay. I didn't use a waist line measurement for this, a waist size, okay. It's a freewear. So I'm measuring my hip line, which is 27 inches, okay. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to connect it with a straight roll, and then I'm also going to go ahead to impute my hip circumference, beg your pardon, divided by 4. It is 47 divided by 4, okay, which is 11.75 plus the same 3 inches, same allowance, okay. Right. Very simple, guys. Very, very simple. So I'm taking the length of the dress of the kimono right now, which is from shoulder to wherever you want the kimono to get to. For this is somewhere around the knee area, which is about 40 inches plus 2 inches allowance for folding and sewing. Okay. So I added that to it. So I'm just connecting with a straight line. Okay. After connecting with a straight line, guys, I'll come back to my hip and measure whatever I have there, all the value put together, my hip circumference plus the allowances, and then I will replicate that same measurement on the hem of the dress, of the kimono rather, and then I'll connect with a straight line. Okay, so after connecting from hip to the hem, I'm connect from the hip right now to the bust line. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. So it's very simple, guys. And then I'm going to come in with, do a curve, to form, a curvy round all around that this area right now, just trying to confirm the measurements. Okay, all right, so I'm doing a curve right now, okay, so that it's not very pointy and sharp, okay, when cutting into the sleeve area. Okay, that's what I just did there. So guys, we are almost done with the we are basically done with the marking of this garments. The next thing for us to do right now is to cut out, right? Very, very simple, guys. Very, very Simple, simple, simple. So you could decide to give this a try, and you can also do it to kindly make us see what you have by dropping your practicals, so to say, or whatever you made, on our Facebook group at Fashion Boss Innovation, or on our Facebook page at Fashion Boss Innovation. We also do have an Instagram handle. You can follow us at Fashion Boss. Some cuts out this pieces. Okay, very simple. Okay, so do not forget to like this video, share it, and give a thumbs up if you've learned anything from it. So I'm cutting the back neckline first and then the shoulder slope line. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. It's very, very simple. It's something that even if you are not a fashion designer, you should be able to replicate, guys. So after doing all the cutting, I'm going to pull out the inner piece, which also stands and represents the back panel. So after pulling that out, we are going to come back and arrange this right now, which happens to be the funnel, properly, so we can continue with the alteration that we have to do, on the front panel. So I came down to my bust line. I'm going to mark 3 inches. Yes, 3 inches. On my hip line, I'm going to also mark 3 inches. And then on the M, I actually did 3.5 inches, on the M area. Okay, 3.5 inches. Okay, I want that place to be a little more open than other parts. Okay, and then I'm going to connect with a straight line from the M down to the bust point, the hip point, down into the neckline. Okay, into the neckline, the very part where the neckline started from, which is the 3 inches. So I'm going to neatly connect that, because we are going to be cutting out this part right now and replacing it with an Aso-Oke fabric. But before cutting, I want to measure my waistline, which is 16 inches. Okay, 16 inches. After measuring the waistline, I'm going to connect it with a straight row, because I want to get the point where we'll be fixing the pocket. So from that waistline, I came down by 5 inches, guys. 5 inches, 5 inches, guys. From your waistline, I came down by 5 inches. Or from my waistline, I came down by 5 inches. And then on that 5 inches, I went inward by 4 inches. Okay, please take note. If that place is a little confusing, you can backward and listen to it over and over again until you are sure that you've gotten the analysis. I came down by 5 inches from the waistline, and then on that 5 inches, I went in by 4 inches and I marked. Okay, so we'll be placing our pocket from that 5 inches line on the 4 inches. Hope you understand what that means. Okay, so after doing that, I can now go ahead to cut. I did that so I can, as for accuracy purpose, so that when the pieces, by the time we cut out this center front now, the pieces are going to be divided. So I want accuracy. That was why I did that first. So we are doing the cutting right now, cutting out this center part. We are going to be replacing it with an Aso-Oke fabric. Okay, right. So I notched the point where the pocket is going to start from. Okay, and then also marked it so that I don't lose touch of it. So these are Aso-Oke fab pieces. The width comes in 6 inches, 6.5 inches. This is 6.5 inches. So I just folded it into 2 equal half and then ironed. Okay, I folded into 2 equal half and then I ironed it properly. So if your Aso-Oke is short, you can go ahead to join. Okay, neatly join and give it a very good press. Okay, so I laid my back piece right now, and then I'm going to lay the front piece on it. We are going to start the joining or the sewing process right now. So as you know, the front piece is 2 pieces already, because we've cut out the center. So I lay first piece on this side. I'll sew the shoulder, and this is the second piece. I also lay its front part of the fabric facing the front back of the back fabric, and then I will sew the shoulder area, giving to make it a proper piece. And then I will fold, the hem of the sleeve. You can also go ahead to attach your Aso-Oke fabric if you have enough, okay, to the hem of your sleeve. I actually did add it because I had some pieces left afterward, okay. So after doing that, you are going to sew the sides. You can choose to sew the sides now, or go ahead to add your pockets, or you attach your collar first before sewing. But I attached my collar first before I sewed. So I've turned it into the front part right now of the fabric. I'm just trying to flesh out again the lines we made earlier, okay, so that we can properly place our pockets very well with accuracy, is properly aligned and not shifting or tilting or bending, and all of that. This is why these lines, are very, very, very important. But before doing that, we are going to go ahead to sandwich our Aso-Oke collar, so to say, to our fabric. So I just open up my Aso-Oke, the middle, and then I insert, my piece of kimono into it, okay? So I'm going to sandwich, neatly sandwich, and sew on the edge using a matching thread. Hope you understand, guys. You neatly sew. You insert your kimono, okay, into the Aso-Oke. So you can also use any other fabric. It's the same process, okay? So you just insert your main fabric, your garments, into the piece you are using or into this Aso-Oke right now. And then you sew round about from the beginning of your garment, takes you into the neckline, and then you sew till you get to the other end. So this is what we have, guys. I'm done sewing, and here we are. I've also went ahead to iron. At this point, we are going to, position our pockets properly. So this is the measurement for the pockets. The length is 8 inches and the weight is still 6.5 inches, just the same way the Aso-Oke came. I didn't get to cut it, okay? I just folded the bottom of the Aso-Oke. I folded it inside properly so it does not fray, because Aso-Oke frays a lot. I folded the top properly and I stitched. I folded the bottom properly and then I stitched, okay? So we are going to place it on the lines we've made provision for. But before doing that, I just want to make sure that everything is properly aligned. You can see me doing that, retaking the measurements and all of that. So we came in by 4 inches. I told you before, okay? That is what I am reconfirming. The Aso-Oke piece is 3 inches, okay, after folding. So as you can see, there is a little space after the Aso-Oke before the pocket. That's 1 inch, making a total of 4 inch, okay? So 5 inches from your waistline, that's where you are going to place. And then you come inward by 4 inches. That's where you are placing your pockets, okay? So you can see me pinning down properly. So the piece stay in place for me without shifting, because I'm not going to hold it down with hemming glue or hemming gun, okay? But I can properly pin before sewing. That's what I'm doing. And then I'll also recommend that you do the same, okay? So I'm done with that part. I'm coming back to the other parts right now to also replicate what we did on this other side. Confirming my measurements properly, that is 4 inches. You can see me reconfirming and marking and then connecting with a ruler, okay, so that my pocket will stay on the line I have provided for it, okay? Yes, you see, staying on the line for accuracy. I'm going to go ahead right now to pin. Okay, so guys, if you've watched this video to this point and you've not subscribed, you're not being fair to this channel. I want to please beg you, I'm begging to subscribe, okay? A lot of you, 88-90% of you that watches this channel are not subscribed, and that is not being fair at all. I go through a lot to put videos together. The least you can do is subscribe, like, and share. I beg you. I'm not imposing. I'm just begging. If you know you're benefiting from this channel, kindly subscribe. Do not just watch and go away. Do not just save and go away. Do not just download and go away. You're not being fair. I'm sure you're also a business person. You also need people to support and encourage your business. I'm not asking for money. All I'm asking is your subscription. It doesn't cost you a thing. Just tap on the bell. Tap on the subscription button. Tap. It will not take your data unnecessarily or more of your data that you spend, just tap on that subscribe and subscribe. Okay, so we are done pinning. We are going to go to our sewing machine and sew on the edge neatly with matching thread, and then your pocket is okay. Okay, you are good with that. So after attaching your pocket, you turn it inside out, and then you sew on the side. Okay, do the same thing to the other side. Come to the M and fold, and we are done. Subscribe, guys. See you in our next video.